Hey guys, this is Tealus here with another Warlords of Draenor beta video. This is going to be my first video of any of the tank specs in the game. I am looking at Paladins, which I have tanked actually a few instances on to kind of gauge what they feel like, etc. Protection Paladins have probably the least amount of changes I've seen of any class, but we will take a look at their changed abilities, their removed abilities, their changed glyphs, their new glyphs. They actually have a lot of new glyphs. Their Draenor perks, and their talents. So, first of all, the first change ability is the fact that Repentance, which is, an actual talent that you have to get spec into, has been changed to a 1.7 second cast time, and if you notice there it said 1.5 seconds. If you're not familiar with Paladins, they have haste reduces the cooldown of their abilities, so that's why you see a lot of the cooldowns not even numbers. They're a little bit on the 10th second type of thing, or smaller hundredths. So that cast time has been increased to 1.7 seconds. They have lost 3 abilities. Avenging Wrath has been removed and is now Retribution only. Now, I believe they have been working on, I know people really liked the wings effect of Retribution. They felt it was kind of part of their spec. So I believe they were attempting to change it so that it actually applies it when you use Guardian of Ancient Kings here. As you can see, I have my Pally wings when I pop Guardian of Ancient Kings. So they gave it the wings effects, but it is now pretty much gone. Avenging Wrath as an ability. Devotion Aura was that, kind of cooldown ability that used to be used for Paladins. That has been removed for protection. It is now holy only. And then lastly, there's Supplication, which was the free heal after killing an enemy. That has been removed from Prot, and that is now holy and retribution only. So those are the only changes to class abilities. Everything else runs pretty much the same as it did before, and protection has not changed very much. There's one changed glyph, and that is glyph of, let's go ahead and bring up the glyph tab right here. That is glyph of Focused Shield, which is your Avenger's Shield. It's only one target, but for 30% more damage. It's basically just a wording change, and you may think, well, why did you need to do the wording change? I believe it used to say hits 2 less targets. Well, that will become clear when we talk about their, I believe their Draenor perks, then you'll understand why they had to do that wording change. The new changes for Protection Paladins, the first here is going to be Ardent Defender, Glyph of Ardent Defender. And as your Ardent Defender no longer reduces damage taken, but its duration expires without being consumed, its cooldown will be reset to 60 seconds. So that is it's a pretty good, talent to take. Sorry, not talent, glyph to take. There is Glyph of Consecrator. I love this glyph, and I have been using this in my dungeons. And it is your consecration effect now moves with you. So I'm going to go ahead and pop Consecration here. And you can see I just constantly pop Consecrations underneath me at all times. And it's all over the place now. So you definitely are consecrating the ground beneath you now. I mean, if I can stand in one spot, you can see just how consecrated it really gets, so to say. So I really do like that change. I use it a lot. It's pretty awesome. Another ability that they got was the Glyph of Liberator, which is down here. His Hand of Freedom's cooldown is reduced by 5 seconds when not cast on self. So little incentive there if you grab that one to provide utility to the other members of your party or raid. Notice that handing out Hand of Freedom is going to be worth a lot more in this expansion because casters are becoming more turrets, so that's actually something that you may want to consider taking. There is, as you can see, it says it's exclusive with Glyph of Freedom, which means that only one or the other can be in. And Glyph of Hand of Freedom is another brand new one, so take a look at this. Hand of Freedom immediately reduces the remaining duration of all effects which cause loss of control of character by 25%. Any additional loss of control effects applied within 4 seconds have a 25% reduced duration. Quite a mouthful, but it's another glyph that I think people will want to take a look at. Depending on how useful you are to your raid or your PvP partners, you're gonna have to choose between the Glyph of the Liberator or Glyph of Hand of Freedom. There is Glyph of Judgment. This is the last one, and it increases the range of judgment by 10 yards. So I mean, if I were to take it right now, range is 30 yards. This basically puts it up to the same range as most caster spells, so that's kind of a nice thing to have. That is it for the glyphs for Paladin. The next thing is going to be their Draenor perks. They have changed Draenor perks, unfortunately, from all the other profession videos I've done before. The good thing is that they have cut out all of the lame Draenor perks that were just damage buffs, and they just bake those into the abilities, and so now you actually have meaningful Draenor perks. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Draenor perks for Protection Paladin. The first of these is going to be Empowered Avenger's Shield, and it says Avenger's Shield strikes 2 additional targets. So your Avenger's Shield is going to hit 5 targets, and it becomes clear now why they made that change to the wording on the glyph, because they want it to be only 1 target as opposed to 5 targets, and if it was just 2 less, it would be 3. So you can see I have it actually on, and it went around, and I guess it missed. Oh no, it got all 5 right there. So hits 5 targets, pretty nice. It's gonna be awesome in BGs to use that. It's gonna really frustrate a team if they're all grouped up. I mean, just being able to dish out that. The next one that they have is Improved Consecration, which increases the damage done by Consecration by 100%. That is a shame that they still have damage buffs in there, but that is a pretty significant damage buff. That is not just, a tiny little 20%. That is a full 100% increase. There is Improved Block, if I can find it. There it is. And it increases the amount blocked by your shield by an additional 10%. So defensive portion there. And then last but not least is Improved Forbearance, which reduces the duration of forbearance by 30 seconds. I think this is very useful as a protection paladin. Staying alive is going to be key. In PvP, remember, as I mentioned in the main video, you're going to be taking 25% more damage just because your spec is brought. So you're going to have to manage your survivability cooldowns in PvP. Not as much, but much more than you used to, probably, in a PvP setting. So that brings us to the talents for a Retribution Paladin. And one thing I should note, that on the level 30 tier, they got rid of the old Turn Evil that worked on humanoids, and they brought back Blinding Light as a 2-minute cooldown, but they felt that they needed more on that tier to compete with the others, so that is why Blinding Light has been brought back instead of scrapping it as it was their original plan. Now, their abilities, first they have Empowered Seals, which is like bringing back your old seal switching that you had back in, Burning Crusade, where you cast Judgment and then your seal would expire. Every time you cast Judgment, you have to reapply it. So this basically is going to cause you to constantly switch your shields and get all of those buffs. I mean, I'll go ahead and use it right here, and you will see. I'm going to use this one. Switch abilities, and get Judgment back up again, and then switch, and then get Judgment one more time. You can see up in the top right hand corner, I have Murad's Truth, I have Liadrin's Righteousness, and I have Uther's Insight, which are all 3 buffs from all of the seals. So that is Empowered Seals for you. The next ability is Seraphim, which temporarily magnifies your power, increasing haste, multi-strike, mastery, multi-strike, versatility, and bonus armor from gear by 50% for 15 seconds. I honestly don't know how this is going to be beneficial that much to prop paladins. I could be wrong. I have not played a prop paladin in a long time, but we'll go ahead and boost up our holy power here up to max, and then we will use Seraphim, and you can see the nice spell visual that they have and the glowing holy hammer that they put into your use there. So, oh, and a glowing shield. So nice spell visuals, but I honestly don't know how popular it'll be. 15-second, 30 seconds cooldown, so you have a 50% uptime. The last talent here is going to be passive. It increases your block chance by 10% and allows you to block spells. Additionally, when you block, you deal 3,500 holy damage to your attacker. This is personally the one that I've been using in dungeons, and in all honesty, it's the one I would want to use in PvP as well too. The ability to block spells is pretty important, I think, if you're outside playing prot in a battleground. So that's my talent of choice at the moment. I'm not a big fan of Seraphim, to be honest. Empowered Seals is really cool, but I think Holy Shield is probably the way to go. So that's it for Protection Paladins. There's really not much going on for Protection Paladins in Warlords of Draenor. So with that, I will see you guys later in the next class video. Cheer us out.